Okay, we're going to ascend some heroes. I'm going to show you how I ascend and how I get to gold faster. Number 1, never click this button. Yes, it looks easy. It doesn't do you any good. It just don't do it. Do it manually. You'll get your heroes where you want them faster because you pick who goes up and how. So number 1, know your heroes, know which ones you use, which ones you want to eat. Don't try to ascend all of your heroes to gold, just the ones that you use, or the ones that you want to use eventually. So start off with Marlin. Marlin is awesome. I want to use her eventually when I can get her up to a better level. So gold is good, but I don't use gold in my first or my second car. So I'll probably wait until she's at least at rainbow. Harmon is awesome. Harmon always goes up and is almost at rainbow. Yes, I use Harmon in my first truck. He's a tank, so I usually leave my tanks a little bit lower than my attackers. But now that my attackers in my first car are at 100, my tanks are starting to go up to higher levels now too. Max, I don't use Max, so I leave all of his shards right there and I can eventually use him for someone else. Rebecca, I use her. I do use Rebecca. I always scroll down just to double check where my heroes are currently sitting at, and how many shards of extras. If you'll see here, I have Rebecca already at gold 3 stars, so I don't need to be ascending Rebecca's shards any further. I can now use them as food for others. My workers are pretty standard. They just go up as they go up. Duke is terrible. I eat all of his shards. Winston is part of our destruction team, so I always upgrade him and Patrick. They're part of our destruction team. Dean is one of my gatherers, but he's already at rainbow 3 stars, so I use all of his shards as well. Cloud is terrible. I use his shards. Ivan is another one of my gatherers, and I'm not sure about where he sits currently. But I'm not too worried about Ivan because he is just one of the gatherers, so if I do need to eat his shards, I will eat him. Yeah, so he's at rainbow. He doesn't need to go up any further. If I have spares, he can go up further. That doesn't bother me. Matthew. Where is Matthew? I'm not too bothered about Matthew either. He is one of my gatherers, but he's sitting at gold, so that's iffy. Natalie, don't use her. She was great in the first couple seasons, not so much anymore, so she can be eaten. Cindy is a gatherer, so I do like to keep her shards for her. Brom, I do not find that I need him at all. So currently where they all sit, I need to take them up a level so I can start using them for other heroes, so I'll just do that now. When I say I don't use their shards for themselves, I do put them together like this, so they're at another tier where I can use them for someone else. So you'll see that once I get them all up where they need to be.
I was only trying to make a while. Betrayal? No, I was only trying to make a wiser choice.
Fast as a hummingbird. That's a good way to describe my Fast as a hummingbird. That's a good way to describe my archery skills. Fast as a hummingbird.
And while we're here with all these gatherers, you'll see that mine only sit at level 2. And I leave them at level 2 just so that I know that they are my gatherers when I'm doing things like ascending. So I can quickly see, yep, that's a level 2, that's obviously my gatherer, it doesn't get me confused. I haven't put them up any further than that from now, simply because my first and second trucks need to be higher. That's where my mementos need to go for now. Once I've maxed out my first 2 cars, that's when I'll start ascending my gatherers and my worker heroes further than what they are. They'll be more useful. The mementos will be more useful to my attacking cars for now.
At your service.
Almost there. It does take more time to do it manually, but it is the smarter option. Please don't use the auto ascend. It's not worth it. Okie dokie, we're all up a level here. So I already know that most of these top ones, my pink-haired girl, I do use her, but I'm not willing to give up Cindy, she's my gatherer. And my Roger over here, I will use him eventually, so he just sits at gold for now. Ivan, no, I will not give up Matthew or Blanchy, I use those. Ricardo, I use him as well. My workers all need to eat someone else to go up further, so I don't touch those, they don't need to go up further. Ricardo, he could use Matthew or Blanchy. I need those 2 characters, so I won't touch that for now. Along with all of my gatherers here, they want to eat useful characters. I'm not going to do that. So I'll just leave them until I have more shards for them. Kate is terrible. Eat her always. Max is also terrible. I eat him. Natalie, I eat her. Alyssa, some people use her quite regularly. I found that she was only useful through the expedition. I won't use her. There's a varied opinion on her. My Betty shards, I can use them for anyone now because my Betty is gold, rainbow 3 stars. So then I usually just come down to the characters that I know that I want to ascend further. So Winston, he's part of my demo team, I use him all the time. He wants to go further. I always use 1 shard of the hero I want to go up, and 2 of someone I'm willing to eat. And then obviously use 2 to go further. And this is how you're going to get to gold faster. Now you can see here Patrick. I like Patrick, demo team. I could use another one of him and someone else, but then I won't have the option to do that again. So I use Patrick and 2 heroes that I don't use. So I'm just going to pick one of Lun because he's already at the level I need him at. And one of Park G. So they go up. Patrick's go together. Higher level there. Higher level there. Gold Patrick. And then you see I still have another Patrick shard to be able to do that again. And if I had a third, then I'd be able to do that process again, and I'd be able to ascend Patrick even further. Who else do we have here? So Coleman, he's a rainbow 1 star. I do use him for my demo team, but I also use him for one of my trucks as well. So given the option, I will ascend him. Not using his second shard here though, because I'm going to want to do that again. So Natalie is terrible, so I use one of her. And then we'll go back down. Another Coleman, and I'll do 2 of these ones because we don't want to use Cindy, she's our gatherer. Then we have 2 Colemans. We have 1 Patrick here who could go further. These 2 here are good characters, but I don't use them and I don't intend to use them. I'm not sure why. She's locked, but once I unlock her, I'll end up ascending him further up. Now a lot of these characters aren't too important to me. They could go further. Coleman again. Now my Rebecca, I use her, but she's at Rainbow 3 stars, so I do not need her shards anymore. I can eat her, and I'll eat Natalie as well. Coleman goes further. Cindy can go further because I do use her, and eventually she'll go to a higher level for my gathering team to be stronger against attacks. And because I had 2 more of her, 1 more of her, and I don't use Brom, and I don't plan to, so I'll do that process again there. And for gathering, he's a good hero, and eventually he will be leveled up further to help me. I always start at the bottom, just so that I can get those extra levels for these ones at the top. Ivan again, I use him. Now in an instance like this, I will go ahead and use 2 of him. You don't have to do that though, you can be patient and you can wait for another shard of someone else you want to eat and do it that way. Some people do recommend that you do it that way. I'm very impatient myself, so sometimes I just use what I have at hand to get them further. Where is my Lun? Lun is Rainbow 1 star and I do use him. And I would like him to go further. So I'll use 2 of him, 1 of Park. Yeah, I could play with this for quite a while until I get finished with it, or happy with it at least. But that is how I ascend my heroes faster to gold. The ones that I want anyway.
These are real muscles.
Yeah.
Artlist.io